with it, gang. Yo, TV Bros back in the cut. Another reaction. Search y'all, comment, like, and subscribe. So we got Trump dealt disaster blow and smoking gun criminal case. I'm not gonna hold y'all, fam. I don't know too much about what this one's about. So we just gonna get into this shit. No kizzy cat.
We've now got arguably one of the most important updates yet out of Fulton County, Georgia. 2 new grand juries are now being seated, each composed of 23 jurors.
What if Trump went to Fulton County? Hell nah. They would never send him there, bro.
Hell, no, nigga would never live there, nigga.
2 new grand juries are now being seated, each composed of 23 jurors and 3 alternates, and District Attorney Fani Willis will be using either one or both of these juries to pursue charges against Trump. In other words, if Trump is going to be indicted in Fulton County, Georgia, the juries that are now being seated are the ones who will vote out those indictments.
Everybody fucked up, so I need to know what he
They
did.
indicting him in fucking Fulton County, Georgia, fam.
Yeah.
So what the fuck did he do? I haven't even heard about this shit.
That's why I was trying to tell you the other day that he was fighting some. I didn't know too much about it, but I know he was fighting like some cases and shit.
I heard
And
Trump.
that shit was flowing.
I heard Trump went to jail and that shit. I didn't know what that shit was about. I assumed that shit was about taxes or something.
He got arrested, but he didn't.
Indictments. Think of it this way.
Remember
If this was a dating show, today would be the day where all of the singles file into the mansion, except instead of singles, these are the people who would sign off on indicting you for state crimes that may very well lead to prison time. Now, just for posterity here, because it may be difficult to figure out which case this is among the raft of other cases that Trump is on trial for or awaiting indictment on, the Fulton County case is arguably the most straightforward. It concerns Trump's phone call to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find 11,780 non-existent votes. And I say straightforward, not just because it's easy to understand, but because Donald Trump is so... The Fulton County case is arguably the most straightforward. It concerns Trump's phone call to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find 11,780 non-existent votes. And I say straightforward, not just because it's easy to understand, but because Donald Trump is so ham-handed with his crimes that he managed to commit this one while being recorded.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state, and flipping the state is a great testament to our country.
Yeah, it's kind of like Watergate, only so...
Damn, they got bro on a recorded line, fam. He tampering with that shit. Say he need 12K votes now.
Right, I don't care where they come from.
Non-existent.
So much dumber. Now, in terms of the jurors who are being selected here, first of all, we won't know their identities, and for good reason. The Trump team has made intimidation a cornerstone of its legal strategy, meaning they would love nothing more than to bully or pressure all of these people into bending to their will or suffering the consequences. You might remember former Fulton County poll workers Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman, who testified publicly for the January 6th committee, explaining how they became targets of a right-wing harassment campaign to the point where they needed to go into hiding.
There is nowhere I feel safe. Nowhere. Do you know how it feels to have the President of the United States to target you? The President of the United States is supposed to represent every American, not to target one. But he targeted me, Lady Ruby.
I don't want to go anywhere. I second guess everything that I do. It's affecting my life in a major way, in every way. All because of lies. For me doing my job.
This strategy isn't a bug, it's a feature. It is the point, and we're kidding ourselves if we pretend that the Trump team wouldn't employ it again if they had the chance. Now, the juries being seated will serve for 2 months. The DA's office has signaled that we can see an indictment unsealed sometime between July 31st and August 18th. And the reason that we know that is because Fani Willis was forced to announce remote work days for most of her staff during that time for fear of their safety. She made the request in a letter sent in May to 21 Fulton County officials, including the chief county judge and the sheriff. Quote, "Thank you for your consideration and assistance in keeping the Fulton County judicial complex safe."
Bro, it sound like Trump fucked.
That nigga trying to hit out with his teeth.
So they finna indict him, bro. He said between the 31st and the 18th.
August 18th, yeah.
Damn, that's fucking crazy, bro. So how did they get his phone call? Whose phone did they tap? His shit or?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I mean, if they had a warrant to tap his shit, they could have been his shit.
Right.
And assistance in keeping the Fulton County Judicial Complex safe during this time. This would be in addition to the already secured security assistance from the FBI in and around the courthouse, because leave it to the self-proclaimed law and order president to jeopardize the lives of people for, well, actually doing law and order. And of course, this isn't the only tactic that Trump will employ. We're almost certain to see the Trump team employ similar delay tactics that he's employed in other cases. In fact, on Monday night, the Trump team moved to delay a different trial, the classified documents case, until after the 2024 election, claiming that holding the trial before the election would, quote, create extraordinary challenges in the jury selection process and limit the defendant's ability to secure a fair and impartial adjudication. In reality, the reason the Trump team wants to delay that trial is clear. His only hope to evade accountability is by winning the 2024 election, at which point he'd be able to use the levers of government in any number of ways to escape prosecution. Maybe the 25th Amendment would come into play and his vice president could pardon him. Maybe he'd try to pardon himself. Maybe he'd have some corrupt attorney general somehow try to undermine the DOJ's own case against him.
He finna put up hell of a campaign for 2024, fam. Hey, he finna throw together hell of a campaign, bro. Millions of dollars. He talking about his whole life, fam.
Hell yeah.
How old is he? 70 something? Almost 80?
Who? Trump?
Trump.
77.
Trump 77, fam. He go to jail for some shit. Them his last days, gang. He not going. He finna. I'm telling you,
whatever.
he finna put $1 billion into this campaign, trying to get the presidency and pardon himself. Like he pardoned Yak.
Right. Got that.
Execution isn't clear, but the strategy is. He wants nothing more than to protect himself, and using the presidency is the most effective way to do that. Although I should note that because this case in Fulton County is at the state level, even those far-fetched scenarios wouldn't do Trump much good, considering he wouldn't be able to use a presidential victory to insulate himself from a state crime, only a federal one.
Right.
So even on the off chance that he was able to...
I knew he was going to say that shit. I knew he was going to say that shit.
Damn.
The state crime not even going to be.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the state, fam.
Yeah.
You the president, you can't do that, man.
You got
state to tell your ass no.
Be a federal crime.
Right. Damn. Yeah, my brother. Your ass might be sitting.
scuttle any federal cases against him, this trial in Fulton County represents something of a failsafe in a system that Trump wants nothing more than to abuse for his own benefit. And let's be clear, prosecutors in Fulton County are taking that responsibility deadly seriously. They've been quietly building their case against him for months. They've interviewed 75 witnesses, including Rudy Giuliani, Lindsey Graham, John Eastman, and Michael Flynn. 18 target letters have been sent out. And most importantly, the prosecution will enter this case having already...
Tommy and Ghost couldn't even fix that, fam. 75 witnesses?
Well, you better hope Annalise Keating can get some shit out of that.
She can't do shit with that, fam. You got Tommy Ghost and... Look, Tommy and Ghost can knock off 40 of them and at least defending against the F-35. You still fucked, fam. We need more than that.
Undermine Trump's principal defense that there was fraud in Georgia, and so his actions in trying to get Raffensperger to tack on non-existent votes was somehow justified. According to Exhibit A from the Special Purpose Grand Jury report, quote, the grand jury heard extensive testimony on the subject of alleged election fraud from poll workers, investigators, technical experts, and state of Georgia employees and officials, as well as from persons still claiming such fraud took place. We find by a unanimous vote that no widespread fraud took place in the Georgia 2020 presidential election that could result in overturning the election, meaning that part is established. Trump doesn't get to come in and muddy the waters with obvious...
It says I didn't overturn the election, but that don't mean y'all didn't cheat.
Right.
Y'all just didn't cheat enough to sway the election. That's funny.
That's fucking crazy, bro. This case will function under the
always
reality
some
that there was
corruption
no
going
widespread
on.
fraud in the 2020 election. So if Trump wants to parrot this claim that there was fraud, he'll be doing so to a jury that is already operating under the knowledge that he would be lying, which, granted, we could probably expect anyway. And remember, this isn't the only case that Trump is contending with thus far. He's been indicted in the Manhattan DA case for his illegal hush money payouts to Stormy Daniels, among a number of other related charges. He's been indicted by the DOJ, the first president in history, for stealing classified documents from the White House. He's awaiting another indictment by the Justice Department for charges related to his efforts to steal the 2020 election and the events surrounding January 6th. He's awaiting indictment in New York's Attorney General Tish James's $250 million civil suit against him, his kids, and his business for fraud. And he's contending with yet another defamation lawsuit from E. Jean Carroll, which was recently amended to include more disparaging comments that Trump made during his CNN town hall. Because apparently he wasn't dealing with enough legal issues. And look, I know that we try to give Biden credit for those 13.5 million jobs added during his term, but to be fair, at least half of those have to be Trump team lawyers. So while this process in Fulton County, like the judicial process everywhere else, has been moving slowly, today's news represents a clear step in the right direction, a clear step toward accountability for Donald Trump. And while he's made evading that accountability his life...
Nigga.
Shit over. So I'm saying. But anyway, bro.
What y'all think? What you think?
I think that shit crazy, bro. I think it's good that, like, accountability, like, they trying to make the president take accountability. Because I think everybody, no matter who you are in the citizen, like, as a citizen, should be, like, upheld to the same laws, you feel me? So I think it's good they're trying to make him take accountability. Do I think he will take accountability? I don't know, fam. Am I shocked about any of this? Not really,
Right.
you know? But
Do I think he'll do everything he can to not have to face the consequences for what he did?
bro, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know he was facing all that shit, bro. That's so much shit.
You know all I care about though? Biden getting out. So shit, whatever it take, bro.
We need the right motherfucker in there, fam.
I need that stimmy.
We need the right motherfucker in there, fam. But yeah, bro, that shit was a good video.
Let us know what y'all think in the comments, man.
Nah, for real. Make sure you like this bitch on your way out.
Is it free Trump or lock Trump up? What y'all think?
Let us know in the comments.
Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. OTB Rose.
We out, gang.